Rugby keeps coming, not only from Twickenham with England against New Zealand, 1:30 as mentioned, Sky Sports 1. We're also in Italy for their fixture with Fiji, 2 o'clock. That one's behind Sky Sports 1 on the interactive service. And then back on the front channel, France against Tonga, 5 o'clock next Saturday afternoon. Neither New Zealand nor France will be thinking about next Saturday at all, just at the moment. It is 9-all. It is a fascinating and rather compelling 9-all as well. France, very few people, ourselves included, didn't give much of a chance leading into this one. They didn't give us a reason to believe. But they have delivered. They have played for the jersey. They have played for the coach and all the people in the stadium that believe in them so much. 9-all against the #1 team in the world who look a little bit out of sorts under the pressure. Let's return to Stade de France with Yayan and Mark.
Well, 1999 and 2007 are the years of the two most significant French beatings of the All Blacks, a World Cup semi-final and a World Cup quarter-final. Of the European foes, it's the French who have caused most agony on the game's biggest stage, and how they would love to inflict a little more pain here at Saint-Denis at their Parisian base. And well, they put in a very fine first-half performance there. What do they have to do if they're to kick on to claim the New Zealand scalp for the 13th time in their history in the second period, Jared?
More of the same in terms of frustrating England, New Zealand the breakdown, but also making sure they do take a chances and then come on board, because you know somewhere down the line New Zealand will create and take a chance.
So Remy Tallez, who really did attack the gain line effectively in that first half for this French side. All their points coming from the boot of Morgan Parra, 3 penalties from Dan Carter for New Zealand. Liam Messam tries to hold up Bryce Dulin there. Ripping the ball out there is Morgan Parra. And it's Remy Tallez who pumps the ball deep into New Zealand territory. And it's Israel Dag who puts the ball straight into the arms of Remy Tallez again, who takes on Charles Piatoy. Fofana, great offload. Here is Laurie. Wenceslas Laurie. Oh, and it's picked off by Charles Piatoy. He read that so well. And New Zealand escape. But it's Fofana again. Such a creative threat in the middle of the park for Clermont and for France. This is Dulin into some space. And it's Israel Dag who comes across. And he's going to have to play this. And it's Maxime Medard who fails to get hold of him. But the referee was playing an advantage. And it's against Liam Messam, and also penalised as Ben Smith in front of the kicker.
Loose kick in there from New Zealand, from Dag in particular, and some wonderful play by Remy Tallez. Gorgeous offload there.
6 and 13 in front of the
Gave that attacking opportunity for France. You've got to go back. When there's a kick downfield, you've got to move back. You can't keep moving forward if you're in an offside position. You can't even stand still. You have to look as if you have to move backwards. At the time, quite a few of the New Zealand players didn't move at all. That's a good, lively start from France in the second half. Exactly where they wanted, but some loose kicking from New Zealand. You don't expect that from New Zealand. Generally, their kicking game is really accurate and really long.
Well, France have won just one of the last 8 tests, and this is the comparison. New Zealand have scored 43 tries in their 11 straight wins this year. No sign of a try from either side so far tonight. Corey Jane coming close for New Zealand early doors. It's been all about the boot of the French 9 and New Zealand 10, and it's the French numero 9 who puts France back into the lead here, and that gives the big crowd here something to chew on.
They wanted to start the second half in a positive way, much as they finished the first half. On the scoreboard first, gets into a lead. Once again, Tallez very much at the forefront of good attacking play by France.
Strangely flat New Zealand performance so far, but of course the French have contributed largely to that with the ebullience of their own display.
He certainly subdued this talented New Zealand team.
This is Laurie, tackled by Franks. And sealing off by the French there, says Piper. So it's another Penalty for New Zealand, kickable position. Aaron Smith thought for a second or two there about having a quick dart.
And that will frustrate Phillips Andre in the stand. You open up a lead and then you give a penalty immediately back to the opposition.
Really good work there by Owen Franks. Drove Wenceslas Loré. He was already retreating at that point. Back further. New Zealand on a run of 7 consecutive wins against the French. But the French do have a habit of pickpocketing this New Zealand side historically.
New Zealand won 30 of the last 32 games.
There's over 1,400 points for New Zealand. There's the great Dan Carter, multiple times winner of the World Player of the Year. And again, we're all square, dozen points apiece.
Times Dan Carter can make this game look so easy. But it's not been easy for New Zealand tonight. It's not been easy for Dan Carter. Space has been very much at a premium for this New Zealand backline. Fans really have put them under pressure. The breakdown, their first attack was generally a big miss on Man Nonu at the start of the game. France's defence really has been solid.
Need someone to take the pin out of the hand grenade somewhere in this game. It hasn't quite exploded yet. Maybe that's to come. And maybe it's to come from New Zealand. Here's Mialamu. Smith. Not his best kick, and it's into the arms of Bryce Dulin from Chile.
Smith's kicking game has not been at his best tonight.
Here is Diagonal. Can he get some width from the ball and challenge this French defence? Here is Ben Smith. Ben Smith, he's after this one, and so is Piatoy. And suddenly the space opened up, and here come New Zealand now through Charles Piatoy. And that is an example of the ruthless brilliance of New Zealand. You can never relax.
A lack of concentration there, wide open spaces. The kick downfield, well identified by Ben Smith, puts a grubber kick through, and there's nobody at home. Nobody at all. Piatoy gets his foot to it first. Morgan Parra only just gets across there. There was no one at home. Terrific finish by Piatoy. Good composure, fall on that ball, not knock it on. It's so easy to knock that ball on. But that's the threat the New Zealand pose, particularly out wide.
Oh, what a wonderfully weighted kick it was by the bang-in form Ben Smith. Of course, has spent most of his time on the wing this season, recently moving into the centre to cover for Conrad Smith on that sabbatical. But it was delicate and delightful.
And we talked about New Zealand's loose kick. That was a loose kick from France. Then the response from Ben Smith to continue his development as the outside centre, an heir apparent to Conrad Smith. Well identified with the gap was there. It was a kick to create a try scoring opportunity. A kick just to relieve pressure.
He's got the blue suede shoes on tonight, and Dan is the man again, adding the extra 2. And suddenly a gap appears.
Look at the wide open spaces. There is acres. Parra can't get there. Piatoy was first and finishes it off. And is that the spark that ignites this New Zealand backline?
Well, it's one thing that New Zealand do brilliantly well, and that is identifying space like that and taking advantage of it. And that was a case in point.
That was a 7-point gap. Just materialises.
Aaron Smith. Ball out to Dan Carter. Taken by Damien Chule. He's often been the receiver on those high balls, but this time a little bit of robbery from the All Blacks, and this is where they can be dangerous again. They can develop so quickly. It's Ben Smith. Ben Smith to Israel Dagg, hitting the line at pace. The passing so often precise when New Zealand have the ball in hands. Here is Retallick, and now Tony Woodcock. He manages somehow to get the offload away accurately under incredible pressure. Manonu once more. Well, that aspect of his game has improved immeasurably, but not quite there, because Wesley Fofana has the ball. Now it's Bryce Doolan, hit by McCaw, and hit hard by McCaw. He is not the biggest of fullbacks, is Doolan, and he felt the force there.
Hands on, yes.
Well, the referee says that that's hands on. The ball was back in play, and here go New Zealand again. And here is Liam Messam. Liam Messam trying to hook the ball away from under his arm into a supporting player. Aaron Smith, Sam Whitelock.
Release.
Suddenly there is a sense of danger all around the Stade de France, because they are beginning to find their rhythm here. Here is Manonu, one of those deft little grubbers again, and Charles Piatoy almost takes advantage again.
Gotta make sure it's touching goal.
Has developed this kicking game. Trying to thread that through. But Piatow, right idea. Again, there was a gap there. There was an opportunity there. If that had stayed a little bit infield, just a foot or so, just eludes Piatow. And a huge tackle by McCaw as well to create that chance.
Well, the French, they last beat New Zealand in Dunedin, 27-22 that was, 2009. Before that, it was that famous World Cup quarter-final of 2007. But to remind you, New Zealand on a run of 7 successive wins against the French. And they've made the ideal beginning to this second half.
Forward? Sorry, you're breaking up.
With that Piatow try. His third try in a week, having scored 2 against Japan last Saturday.
Line out blue. Line out blue.
It's quite interesting, the high kick wasn't from Aaron Smith at that time. It was from Dan Carter, who put the pressure in Shuley, and then that forced the turnover and allowed New Zealand to attack.
Much better weight on the kick from Carter, and that's important that Kaiser hits his man here. Oh, and they've lost the line out, have they? Have they managed to recover it? And they did well in the end, did France there. Well, there was a knock-on in there somewhere. So they have given the ball back to this New Zealand team. And they were really competitive there at that line-out. Brodie Retallick going up to challenge Shuley.
Yeah, I think Retallick had read that. The intended receiver there was Shuley, Dennis Shuley. Very physical at the front of that line now. Puts himself around for a young man who really has come on leaps and bounds this season. And a good foul for Sam Whitelock. And the last consents blood here.
5, 6.
You just feel the buzz. It's almost like an electricity now about this New Zealand side. And here is Aaron Smith, and now it's Manonu. Runs into Tales.
Sorry, I couldn't.
Oh, penalty. And it's come from on this side, I think.
Breaking down, so I couldn't hear that.
Just drop to the knees. That's the reason the scrum collapsed.
Okay, penalty. Thank you.
Penalty given by Nigel Owens on this near side.
There was a breakdown. There was a breakdown in the radio. I couldn't hear that. White collapse. That's the reason the scrum went down.
Nigel Owens, who almost suffered from exhaustion as he refereed that Ellis Park epic between South Africa and New Zealand.
He ref brilliantly though. He was a contributory factor to the quality of that game. He really had an empathy for the way both sides wanted to play. Again, you see the penalty conceded by Tony Woodcock.
He was on his knee, as Nigel Owens said. Nigel Owens, who was blowing hard at Ellis Park and suffered from a bit of cramp as well. And the French have made a replacement. On comes Dmitry Swarzetsky, very popular figure, as you can tell from the reception, and Benjamin Kayser goes off. Swarzetsky, at Racing Metro, that played at Stade Francais too. And Dan Carter has departed as well. So Aaron Cruden, number 22, is on. A man who has been in really top-class form for New Zealand in the 10 shirt in the absence of Carter. Here is Dusatois. Now it's Morgan Parra. Back there goes Israel Dagg. Wants the ball to go into his 22. It's not going to. The tackle is missed though by Uche. It gave Dagg the chance to get away.
Brilliant play by the full-back. Just beats the first man and buys a bit of time for his back to get back and help him. That's what we want when we're 15.
Corey Jane went down there. It looked like it was a suspicion of a trip, but referee having none of it. Now it's Laurie looking for support outside. There's a knock on here, and off goes Corey Jane. Corey Jane chips through, and if this bounces right, New Zealand, well, they would have been in again.
Brilliant play from Corey Jane there as well. Knew he was going to touch, just kept that ball in field and gave a chance. Alan Smith to compete for that. Fans can't afford to allow that to happen. They are in good attacking positions. Retain the ball. That's brilliant play. He knew he was going to get driven in the touch. He just kicks that ball through. And Messon to get there. Good awareness. We saw from that near try in the first half. Just have an awareness of where he is, the geography of the pitch, how close he is to the touchline. Is he Dan Carter going up to the stands?
Will we see him make his 100th appearance for New Zealand next week at Twickenham? Having played 51 minutes last week against Japan and 53 tonight, he is coming back from a shoulder injury sustained in a collision with Bismarck du Plessis, which led to du Plessis being unfairly red carded and was rescinded. Now here's a big man, Charlie Faumuina, 125 kgs. He's a bit wide world of wrestling, Faumuina.
Pascal Ave and some Whitelock resuming battle. Two warriors going head to head.
Let's see if Tony Woodcock can find the sweet spot here in this scrummage. The arms out from Piper. Off goes Aaron Cruden. Now it's Manonu, tackled by Remy Tales. Pick up by Kieran Reid. Haven't seen him operating too much so far in the wider channels. But here goes Smith, and it's Manonu on the switch.
The speed of the Brazilian ball hasn't been enough to allow him to attack those wider channels first, and so well at slowing the ball down.
Faumuina clears out for New Zealand, attacking the blind side through Manonu, and now it's Richie McCaw. A lot of the rugby in this second half is in the French half.
Territorially, New Zealand enjoyed the lion's share in this second half. Which is France towards the end of the first half, with controlling where the game has been played. Second half, it's been all about New Zealand. Haven't been able to get a foothold in this second half at all.
What's your call here, Richie? We'll have the posts. Shot. Another replacement coming on for France is the gargantuan Sebastian Vahamahina. As we watch that scrummage again, they certainly got the drive on there, New Zealand, at the inception of that scrum.
The weight of Faumuina giving a bit of an advantage for New Zealand there.
We do love our French director, the slimmer. Aaron Cruden, the starting out half in the World Cup final. He didn't last too long in that game. Like his opposite number that day, Morgan Parra. Cruden to put New Zealand into a commanding position, but it's still a one-score game in Paris.
It would have been the right side of the field for Dan Carter as well.
Here he comes, 9 syllables and 10 vowels.
Big name for a big man.
You don't want to get hit by 9 syllables and 10 vowels. He also weighs almost 20 stone. This is Dag. God, some height on that kick. It gives New Zealand a chance to get to the ball receiver, and what a great mark. Charles Piatoy was bearing down on Dulin.
Yeah, well played by Dulin. Kept his eyes on the ball. All the important youngsters watching this back home, keep their eyes on the ball.
He's only 12 stone 4. That is lightweight in the modern game.
5.
So a couple of French replacements coming on now. Rabah Slimani will make his debut for his country. The Stade Francais prop forward, and Sebastian Vahamahina joins him on the field.
A lot of extra weight in that scrum now. Perhaps mobility around the field, and certainly extra weight in the scrum.
Great hands, great athleticism from Whitelock in the line out.
Release, leave it. That's the ball.
Famoina trying to generate some quick ball here, and instead they give away the penalty.
Holding on.
Not releasing.
Number 18's on his feet, all the rights.
Yeah, you see Jim McCall there. Frustrated. New Zealand thrive on that quick ball. They're not being allowed to have any. France are maintaining the pressure at the breakdown, which they know they have to do. But what they would like is to try and get some territory and some good quality possession in the New Zealand half. But there were a few times they've had it in the second half. You can see the drive from Faumuina. Good drive, but he's holding on to the ball. Well competed. Duchatois in there, and Faumuina is in there as well. They try and pull for that ball.
Good work by the man from New Caledonia, just on the field, Vahamahina, and it's Dimitri Swarzetsky, the very experienced French replacement hooker, but even with all that experience, he can't hit his man. Aaron Cruden.
It's a good couple of lineouts now New Zealand have stolen. New Zealand off France ball. In these sort of positions, in these sort of areas of the field, towards New Zealand's 22, France would want to win something and get their backline into play. We've barely seen them in the second half. Starved the ball.
Well, the last met in this stadium back in 2006, New Zealand won that one 23-11, and it's that sort of game again tonight. It's pretty tight out there. Here's Florian Fritz, a very competitive November international. Taken on by Forestier. He showed good pace off the mark there. A loose head prop.
Release!
Left the ball behind them.
Ball's out.
Fofana has Uge, and he has Piatoy to deal with, and Scragged at the touch.
He needed to pick an angle there. Off Fofana. At one point standing. On a touchline, waiting for the ball to come to you, and then taking from a standing start. You're not going to beat a defender then.
It's the fifth meeting in this stadium between these two. 3 wins for New Zealand and a pretty epic 20-all draw way back in November 2002. And New Zealand maintaining a fine record. They've never failed to score a try at the Stade de France. That was their 11th in this stadium. They score by Charles Piatoy.
As you see this drive in first year, and the ball got knocked out of his grasp.
It's a handy operator warming up. Tremendously good player on the loose is Dane Coles.
Got a great engine on the field, very athletic.
Good footballer. Good take by Whitelock. Piatoy is off, chasing this one, and it's Uge. He has played a fair bit of rugby at fullback. He looked like a fullback there.
That was a great take. That was a really good box kick from Alan Smith, but beautifully taken.
Here's Fofana trying to get outside Nonu, and he succeeded in doing that. Now Fritz, his centre partner. Here is Morgan Parra. Pascal Pape.
Release.
Tara again to Remy Tallez. Oh, knock on by Dula. And it was Aaron Cruden who got his boot to the ball, and fortunately for France it ricocheted off a blue shirt in the right direction.
Your player played it, he played him on side.
Yeah, that was an unforced error by Dula. It has looked dangerous at times, but he took his eyes off that ball. He saw an opportunity there.
They got to find a way.
A lot of decoy runners and the spaces there, and he really had his eyes on the defender. He's got to catch that ball first. And it was a 3-on-2 there.
Vincent Babati returning to come on, who has won his last 11 caps off the bench, make that 12 now, and he replaces Forestier, the Castra loosehead, very often a replacement prop in his club jersey as well as Babati.
Yes, 9.
Straight feed, strong scrummage, and they try to get a second drive on to France. Kieran Reid gets it away to Smith. Now here's Aaron Cruden to Ben Smith, cracking across that gain line, and here is Cruden again to Manonu. Those locks flailing in traditional fashion. This is Richie McCaw just stepping off that right foot, trying to get past that first defender. Shuley working hard at the breakdown. The ball was out there. It did well there, the French number 8. Here's the New Zealand number 8, Kieran Reid. So off they go again through Tony Woodcock, setting the ball for Smith. This is Israel Dag. The tackle by Fofana is a good one. Really kept his eyes peeled there and focused on his man, and they've got the ball too. What can they do with it? Can they develop from here through Uge? Oh, and he's tackled hard by Dane Coles. Nice and fresh, the replacement hooker.
Ball's out! Ball's out! Ball's out! He touched him.
That's Tallez. He's tackled by Ben Smith. Farah, and he puts the ball into a little bit of space there behind Charles Piatai. Score of the only try of the game so far. Israel Dag, who puts in a thumping clearance, but well read by Laurie, in a good position there, the wing forward, to go quickly. And here's Dula. Dula looking to make up for that previous error. He's tackled by Ben Smith. Off goes Tara. Tallez. Some great defensive work by New Zealand there. Charles Piatai with the driving hit, and they get a penalty at the end of it all.
Some good aggressive defence by both sides. So Fofana earlier on put pressure on Israel Dag, and France really have closed down any room that Israel Dag is trying to find. Actually forced the turnover, looking to attack that wide channel. Dula and then Tallez. Again, the one-up hit's really good. So Dane Coles earlier on put a big hit. That time Piatai as well.
But a lot of the French attacking line from deep in the second half, they haven't put themselves into a try-scoring position in the New Zealand 22 at all in the second period.
They haven't been any sort of clear-cut try-scoring chances at all. It's been all from deep. That's a good, solid hit. Piatai driving. Tallez back. There's the tackle here on.
Moving up on his block.
Fofana once again. Fofana's defending really well in this game. Strong tackles in, closing down the space on Israel Dag. A lot of the French attacks have been one up. Players were isolated and driven back.
That's Rotanic takes the line-out ball. Now it's Aaron Cruden. Here's Liam Messam. Gets away just about from Florian Fritz. Now Cruden once more, trying to keep his hands free there. Through the contact. Richie McCaw. Smith checking on the options, and one of those is Malamono. Now here it is Ben Smith, and it's Piatai to Kieran Reid, and Kieran Reid scores, and New Zealand have found the right bandwidth again. Well, we talked in the first half about rugby's version of guerrilla warfare. Well, again, it's the ambush.
It's also the fact Piatai looks for the offload. And for the first time really in this game, Kieran Reid finds himself with wide open spaces, with wider channels, and a pass to let him get away. That's Piatai really strong. And it's not like one person as individual. The players are on their shoulder looking for the offload, convinced that their teammate are going to make the break, get past the tackle, get his arms beyond. Piatai really well against offloads. Standing offload for Kieran Reid.
I can just visualise Stuart Lancaster and Liam Rowntree and Andy Farrell furiously making notes back at the Pennyhill Park Hotel. I'm sure they have representatives here tonight too, keeping a close eye on things.
To prevent the offloading game. So good again, his arms beyond the tackler.
Beautiful strike from Aaron Cruden. He enjoyed the little jog follow through as well at the end of it, and certainly followed the flight of the ball.
That's when New Zealand have had over France, when they have tried to attack and gone wide. They've looked more dangerous when they've had not that many opportunities, but they've had them. They've looked dangerous and looked threatening throughout. And that's a terrific finish by Kieran Reid.
Well, it's back to that point we made. New Zealand 7 line breaks at Ellis Park against South Africa, 5 tries. South Africa 19 line breaks, 4 tries.
Taking your chances.
Back off blue.
And you have to score tries against New Zealand because they will ultimately find a way.
Here's Verzetsky. Can the French find a way to get back into this game? Difficult from here at 26-12 adrift. But that's good, forceful, driving play from France. Will they wake it up in time? Vahamahina.
It's a big tackle by Kieran Reid and Vahamahina there.
In goes Laurie, and it's ripped away from him by Swarzetsky. Good work by the replacement hooker to keep it alive. And then he got up and he drove. Excellent.
He well get back on his feet there because he was isolated for a split second.
Here is Para, and he uses Uge coming, wrapping around off the right wing. In goes Pape. Pape finds Damiashuli. Must score here, France. Must score. Have to get a try. Now there's an advantage coming their way. Swarzetsky, and here is Maxime Medard, and it's Aaron Cruden who makes the tackle. Morgan Para, Gail Fickou, the teenager from Toulouse, a man who has a great future, they say. The first time that France have pressurised the New Zealand line in this second half. And off goes Medard, and Maxime Medard is half a metre short. He did well actually to keep the ball available. He didn't suffer from white line fever, and he could have been excused maybe for doing that. And now they're half a metre short. And it's Morgan Para trying to dig it out. They get the width of the ball. It's Gail Fickou, looks for the offload, finds it to Tellez, and it's Bryce Dulin! And some glorious Gallic craft work, and France get the try that they were desperate to score. And do they now have a chance to stage a marvellous fight back?
And well not to panic or to fluster. Good ball retention, really important in 22. Terrific offload there by Fickou, who's looked dangerous since he's come on. Once again, an interplay between Tellez and Dulin. Lovely angle by Dulin to finish. A good work by Fickou to straighten up and then look for the offload. Not allow time for the New Zealand defence to get back in position. And a good early pass from Tellez finds Dulin. Terrific angle, and nothing Dag can do to prevent that. Good response here by France. This game really is lighting up now.
1 and 13. 1 and 13. 14, sorry, 14.
France needed to respond, because that was a significant gap there being opened by New Zealand.
Oh, tremendous kick by Morgan Parra. And you remember that 1999 World Cup semi-final when New Zealand were 24-10 up and in the end lost heavily. We're going to get a fight back of similar steel from the French here.
It's all the ball retention, but also the speed of the ball. He saw Medard doing really well, going in, ripping a ball off one of his own players, kept the momentum going, kept the drive going, kept moving forward, which then meant the Parra then had options for the next phase.
So Crockett is on, Crotty's on as well, so Crotty and Crockett have joined us in Paris. 26 points to 19, just one score between these two sides as Ben Smith takes it on. Are we going to get an immediate reply from New Zealand? It would be typical. Here is Cruden, now here is Manonu, and he finds Crotty. Aaron Smith to Aaron Cruden, Retallick put under pressure by Swarzetsky. Excellent defence. Staying patient here, New Zealand. Cruden once more, and it comes off the leg of Gael Fickou, and then he's smart enough to recover the ball.
Good line speed from France to pressure on New Zealand. Can't afford a setback and allow New Zealand time and space.
Oh, what a 10 minutes we're going to have. Duna slipping there as he tried to get that kick away. Alan Smith. Here is Israel Dye, the Charles Piatow, the bearded Crotty. Manages to get through the challenge there of Wesley Fofana. What a final 10 minutes it is going to be in Paris as Kieran Reid gets his offload away. But again, there's that pile-driving, committed French defence.
Two-man tackle.
Cruden, dangerous, set the ball up. Coles showed great strength there as Maydar came in. It looked like Maydar should cut Coles in half there. This is Aaron Smith. Back goes Gael Fickou. Bryce Duna doesn't want to slip this time. He's found a bit of space there, but Israel Dye jogs across, well aware to the dangers there.
Get out!
Just launching the ball into the French airspace. New Zealand, they do like to play in the opposition half, that's for sure. And they kick it a lot. Here's Kieran Reid, gets the ball once again to Israel Dye, who once again launches the ball, and Kieran Reid chases that. Advantage difference.
There's a lot of players walking around our field. Maybe a few more blue jerseys than white jerseys walking around. A lot of effort by both sides. Very physical out there, very aggressive on the breakdown. A lot of effort being in the set piece as well. It takes energy out of it, saps his legs.
The end of Aaron Smith's night, replaced by Kerr Barlow, who started against Japan. Tawira Kerr Barlow.
New Zealand won from Kerr Barlow. Was a little bit untidy in that game against Japan. A little bit flustered at times, rushed things. Composure from your half-backs, particularly this moment. 10 minutes to go in the game, 7 points in it. Composure is going to be key.
Well, New Zealand will be trying to keep the French pinned back in their half here. And Thierry Dusatoir trying to raise his men for one final assault on this New Zealand line. A draw, at the very least, is within their grasp.
Second half, really more opportunities in the second half. Tired people up there, these gaps out there, opportunities.
Quick stability, chase. Stability, height. Coach!
Two new front rows, of course, now. 6 have been replaced.
You're too low. You're too low. Left. Shoulders pointing down.
7 minutes of game time, but that can be as little as 3 or 4 minutes of actual playing time, especially if you've got a lot of resets. And that is something that will be frustrating the French bench.
desperate to get on the field.
5, 6. Yes, 5.
And they've got a penalty. How much distance can they eat off here? They've really got to put in a punishing clearance here that puts the All Blacks under pressure. And it's Bryce Doolan. The job falls to him. What can he deliver? Well, it's midway between the halfway and 22.
Relatively safe. As you see the penalty they conceded. Not hinging there.
He's worked hard as Laurie. Crossing that man, Anthony Claassen comes on, the South African under-19 international, naturalised Frenchman. Now the drive, and they're inside the New Zealand half, and they've got a penalty coming here. It's Wyatt Crockett coming in from the side for New Zealand.
17.
And now they really can put the pressure on New Zealand. It's quite a tight angle for the penalty, but they're already in.
Worked hard, put himself around, counter-rucked a number of times. Very physical in the ball carrying area. And the Claassen is probably a little bit more of a footballer in a different dimension. And this is a good attacking position now, but can Dimitri Zazeski find his man?
Well, they've advanced up the pitch in stages for France with those two successive penalties that could yet cost New Zealand. Swazetski, good line out, good take by Shuley. Good surging defensive drive to the line out though by New Zealand. And now it's to Batty, and they're trying to strip the ball from him there. Charlie Fermina failed to do that though, so it's still French ball. This is Morgan Parra to Pascal Pape, and look at the work there of Richie McCaw. And here they come again, sweeping forward through Wesley Fofana. Brilliant by Fofana. Can Fofana twist and get the offload away? Still French ball. Remy Tallez. Vahamahinol, 20 stones.
7-1.
Plenty of French numbers on this right-hand side. Here is Remy Tallez. Can he deliver the killer pass? It's Debatty. Good defence. Here is Shuley. Shuley goes. Shuley twists. And has he been held up? Or has he managed to get it down? Another question, can they recycle it here? Well, Jacko Piper's going to check.
What at stake here. Emotions running high, understandably so as well. Fofana did incredibly well. He's deceptively strong.
Gonna check for ground.
On that game line. The Parte also got involved.
Now the player broke away and went for score. He was not bothered more. He broke away.
Again, it was very decisive officiating by Nigel Owens. He was happy that the ball had been held up. But what power initially from Debatty.
I want to see the ground.
Puts Crotty on his backside there. He drives it well into a low, under a flat pass.
I just want to make sure that
From
ball
Tallez.
touch the
Should
ground.
he
We
get
haven't got
that
a
ball
ground.
down?
Kerr Barlow did well here, just coming in, just lifting the shoulders of Shuley. Nigel Owens was in very quickly to help Jacko Piper there. But they have gone to the TMO. And of course it makes a lot of sense to check it officially and use all the angles possible. It looks to be held up there. Kerr Barlow. Wonderful wrestling work in there.
The best view is in
Jim,
Nigel
also
Owens
after
and
that,
Jacko Piper.
Just have a look at what happened after the whistle's gone.
Well, Nigel Owens was straight in to say, I felt it was held up, Jacko.
Look at him, handbacks, if there's anything serious.
Which is typically forthright officiating by Nigel Owens. Israel Dag in there as well, helping Kerr Barlow out.
did there. Also looking at the potential foul
he said
play
the ball
as well.
he said the ball was definitely held up. We're going to have a look at the foul play. Okay, thank you.
We've also got to check out for some foul play here as well.
Where's Richard? It's not a try. They're looking just what happened after I blew my whistle.
Which, of course, could be hugely significant.
So, if there's nothing else, it's attacking 5.
So it's an attacking 5-metre scrummage or a penalty of some description if there is foul play. There's a bit of wrestling and shoving, and Whitelock's in there, and Pape puts his hand into Whitelock's face and then pushes his chin, and Whitelock maintains a fierce grip.
I don't think there's anything there. From that angle, anyway.
Maxi Maidar was involved as well.
Pape doesn't need much of an invitation to get involved anyway, but he's looking after his little wing.
No foul play. Thank you. No foul play. We start with a scrum.
If you were a wing and getting involved in a bit of kerfuffle with a second row, you'd expect your second row coming out the road. Near hour of need. Oh, what a great position now for France. Clock is ticking down. This is their last throw of the dice.
Dusan has come on at a very interesting moment in this game.
Ball done in the scrum half on. 4 minutes to go.
What a decision, what a call. Now, first of all, they're going to lock this scrummage out.
And this panel, taking a knock or something, I find that quite a strange decision to make at this moment. Dusan is not going to be in the flow of the game, and you need to be clear of thought at this moment in time.
Guys, stability quicker. Stability quicker.
The expectant bubble of noise goes around this stadium.
6. Yes, 9.
Dusan feeds, and it's gone down again. It really does eat up clock time, these resets. The problems they have here with the pitch, of course, doesn't help the 2 sets of 8 forwards to get purchase.
He's going to be quite happy the clock is ticking. There's less time for France to try and attack New Zealand. The clock is very definitely New Zealand's friend.
You got to get your buy-in. Stability. Crouch. Buy. 6. Yes, 9.
And they get a stable scrummage. Oh, they've got the nudge on here of France. It's a big nudge. It's a massive nudge. And Richie McCaw flying in, doing a captain's number there. And now it's the French captain, Thierry Dusatois. He's a real record of try scoring against New Zealand. Here's Swarzewski. Jacko Piper's arm is out. Penalty coming to the French. And here is Dusan. Dusan to Anthony Claassen. Brought down by Sam Whitelock. Underneath the shadow of the post. Vaha Mahina. A minute and a half to go here. And it's Dusan. Fires the ball out to Remy Tallez. There's crossing though, it's obstruction. So they'll come back for the penalty.
Usually took a huge hit off Crocky as well there. But that's eaten up another 2.5 minutes of playtime. There's any advantage there because France had lost about 6, 7, 8 yards. They originally were.
Well, they've gone for the scrummage. It's an exhausting finish, both physically and you suspect emotionally out there as well. We know the French historically feed hugely off emotion, but can they convert that into the try that they need?
This is where you want that emotion and passion driving forward. You also need that emotional intelligence to make the right decision and execute it properly at these key moments.
It's called controlling the inner monkey. Sports psychologists will tell you.
5, 6.
Duchamp feeds another. Oh no! Penalty! Penalty to New Zealand. The hand coming into the scrummage, spotted by Jaco Piper, and surely that will be it for France. It was a brave fight back, but it looks like it's all come to nothing.
The hand went into that scrum. France determined, couldn't get any purchase. No footer. Look at the turf coming up there.
Well, it actually wasn't Klaassen who put his hand on the ball, but a French hand did come in there at the crucial moment. Not the smartest thing to do in a position like that. But Ryan, your thoughts on the way New Zealand eventually put France away and the bravery of the French in their fight back?
Well, they took their chances when they got in those key areas. They cleared that. France had a lot of territory, key moments. And as that final chance on Dulin brought them back in the game, they couldn't quite finish.